Recording.
Yep, you're good.
All right, thank you.
And we'll have other people come in. Welcome, Jenny. Good morning.
Good morning.
We'll still need to get a quorum here. We'll need another 5 people. Come, Jenny. And anyone else who I missed? Who did we miss?
Tara.
Tara said hi.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
We'll wait another minute. We have, hi, thank you for joining. We'll have probably a couple other people joining here. If you can just hang on for a minute and we'll start the meeting. Need a couple more for a quorum. Welcome, Mary Jane. How are you? Thank you for attending.
Good morning, guys. How you doing?
We're good. We're cold.
Okay. Shall we get started?
I think so.
No, she's on it right now. She just hopped on.
If you have your able to mute, it'd be appreciated so we don't have the interruptions.
I just have some scheduling stuff for you. Yeah.
Let's see.
I'm not sure who needs to mute here. Looking at the list, if you wouldn't mind. Okay, well, welcome to the LEPC 2024 December edition, our semi-annual meeting. We'll do the opening meeting and we'll get into the roll call. There may be some people joining us, and as they do, we can bring them into the meeting. I'll start the roll call, and then I think I have everyone on the screen. If not, I'll pull them up. And if you could just introduce yourself, where you're from, what your role is within the LEPC, and then we'll get to the agenda. So thank you, Kristen and Jason, for all your support and help and leadership with what we're doing. I'm Stephen Senor, LEPC Chair. Kristen, can I turn it over to you?
Hi, everybody. I'm Kristen Bunch, and I am the LEPC Secretary, and I work for Emergency Management.
Thank you. And Ryan, turn it to you next, please.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Ryan Martin, and I'm just a LEPC representative for Conagra Brands.
Old employer. Thank you, Ryan. Greg, go over to you next.
Greg Tamberg, Big River Resources, Boyceville.
Thank you, Greg. Jason?
Morning, everyone. Jason Spetz with Emergency Management.
Thank you, Jason. And Mike? You're muted, Mike. Still muted. There you go. Maybe check your microphone. We're not hearing you. We'll get back as we go around. Jeff, we'll turn it over to you, please.
Jeff Robb with the Dunn County Health Department.
Thank you, Jeff. And Jenny?
Yeah, good morning. Jenny Legaspi with the American Red Cross.
Thank you, Jenny. Denny?
Good morning, Denny Class, Menominee Fire Department.
Thank you, Denny. Tara?
Good morning, Tara Burden. I'm with Mayo Clinic Health System, Red Cedar, and the Emergency Management Coordinator.
Thank you, Tara. And Mary Jane?
Good morning. I work for Representative Clint Moses. Sorry you can't make it this morning.
Thank you. And Bradley?
Brad Ludke, 3M.
Okay, thank you, Brad. Did I miss anybody? Okay. let's get to the agenda. If it's okay, I can share my screen and we can take a look at the agenda. Would that work? Okay. So you should see the agenda here. Everyone see that? Okay. We have the call to order, the roll call. We will. Thank you, Jenny. Jenny, did you have a question? No, you just give a thumbs up.
Oh,
Then
yeah,
we're
sorry.
No, thank you for doing that. We'll have a review of the minutes. We'll take any comments that you might have from the committee or anyone else that may be joining us. We'll take a look at the hazmat team report, look at over with Jason and Kristen, the coordinator report. And there you can see a number of site plans that we'll update. We'll have the subcommittee take a look at that. The end of the meeting, or maybe even during the meeting, I have some information on hazardous materials to share with anyone who would like to do that. What I propose is perhaps we'd wait till afterwards, and anyone who needs to leave the meeting can certainly do so. Anyone who wishes to stay. I have some information on recent events that have happened and across the world, and then some different ideas on how home safety and what we do can also be either an issue or how to prevent accidents from happening. We'll look at new business. We'll look at our next meeting, which will not be on the coldest day of the year, presumably in June. And then if anyone would like to be a host, because that seems to work out really great when we are able to do that. So we'll do that. And then we'll have a motion for adjournment. Sound good? Any questions so far? Then if not, we'll take a look at the previous minutes, which are these from our June 20th, 24 meeting over at ConAgra. So thank you, Ryan, for your help with that one. You have received that most likely, and thank you, Kristen, for sending that out. If you would like to take a moment to look them over if you haven't, and if there are any questions, we can certainly entertain them.
I'll make a motion to approve the previous minutes.
Thank you, Greg. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Jenny. All those in favor, and I'll stop sharing. All those in favor, please either say yes or thumbs up.
Aye.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Aye.
Opposed? It's a bit awkward when we do a Teams meeting because you either have the image, emoji, or you have other things. So motion carries. Thank you for that. I can share the agenda if that helps, or just get on to the next item, which would be any public comments. So any comments from anybody in terms of questions or issues that have come up since our last meeting in June? Anything you'd like to bring up or discuss? We can ask you that again at the end as well. Our next section would be going over to the Menominee Fire Department and hazmat team update. So Denny, if you could give us that, please. Or perhaps Jason.
Certainly. So Matt Poliak usually does these meetings. He called me yesterday and asked if I would sit in for a rep. He didn't have a whole lot to pass on other than we're trying to finish up getting our yearly stuff input for image trend to the state and working with Dunn and Pepin counties, make sure all the grant funding and monies that were available were taken care of. So did not have anything that was hazmat specific since the call in April with the gas lines, and hoping it stays that way through the end of the year. So
For sure.
we did receive
Right.
an updated emergency plan from Ellsworth Cheese here last week. Got that taken care of. They did a nice job on that. So and that's about it from our end.
Okay, thank you, Jenny. Any questions or comments? If not, we'll move over to our next item, which would be the coordinator of information report. And Jason, if you wouldn't mind, or Kristen taking us through that, I can share my screen if anyone wants to see it. We'll start with the budget review, go over any spill reports, claims updates, and then take a look at the offsite facility plans to review or what has been done on that. So Jason, can I turn it over to you, please?
Yeah, certainly. And you can go ahead and maybe put that agenda up so they can see the list of offsites that we'll be reviewing today. We'll start with the budget review. There were no expenditures other than salary and fringe, as per usual. We did have 6 spill reports that came into our office since the last meeting, and I'll just briefly review those for you and see if there's any questions on those. And this would be through Monday of this week. So the 26th of June, we had an 8-ounce spill of PFAS out of 3M in Menominee here due to human error. A hose dropped during some fire hydrant testing, is the way it was worded, and that case is closed. That said, it looks like everything prior to that we reported on last time have been closed or has been closed as well. So on the 15th of August, 20 gallons of mineral oil, and that was a transformer that leaked. So equipment failure on that. That was in the village of Colfax. That case is also closed. We had on the 26th of September, we had another PFAS spill out of 3M, unknown quantity at the time of the report. That was due to equipment failure, a broken pipe. That case is still listed as open. October 22nd, 1,000 gallons of manure in the town of Weston out on County Road D. David near State Highway 72. Listed cause there is human error. That is closed. On the 23rd of October, another manure spill, unknown quantity in the village of Ridgeland on County Road A. That was a equipment failure, valve malfunction. That case is still listed as open. On the 14th of November, this was an interesting one, an unknown substance, unknown quantity, Frickland Drive in the city of Menominee. Cause is unknown, but this it was suspected that a vehicle was traveling back and forth on the road and leaking something on the road. That case, I don't have a status on that case. It didn't make it that far to say open, close, or anything. So November 21st, 2024, an unknown quantity of oil was reported at Fleet XL in Menominee. That was intentional dumping listed there. That case is still open. And on the November 30th of this year, 1,000 gallons of antifreeze. 3M in Menominee, that cause summary was listed at the time as unknown, but the case is listed as closed. Now, yesterday we got another report in, and we'll save that for next time because it's unclear as to whether that even occurred in our county. So, as I previously stated, this report is good up through Monday of this week. Any questions or comments or need any more information on those spills? Hearing none. What's that?
No, go ahead, please. Thank you, Jason.
Okay, hearing none, we'll go to the offsite facility updates. You can see the list there, and I know Kristen sent those out. I'm going to turn it over to Kristen to talk more in depth about this, if that's okay. Kristen does a good job, works these offsite plans and updates for us, and so she's the person that can probably speak best on this. She does a good job with these things. It's kind of a tedious task. And I know she'll talk probably more in depth about one non-compliant facility on that list, and that would be Fleet Farm, and maybe we can get an update. I think, Steve, you're aware of that, but she can update the group on where we're at with that. So Kristen, can you take it over for us, please?
Yep. Okay, so thanks for that spill report, Jason. I will just sort of go down the list as they are listed on the agenda. So 3M, just minor changes, some contact information. The EHS chemical amount was updated. And some other chemicals, some other minor reports there. And again, with 3M, we really appreciate how thorough you are because you have a lot in your your plan. So, all right. Next is Cardinal. Again, just one moment. Oh, okay. Yep, that's fine. Thanks. Cardinal, just some minor changes, some contact information. They did eliminate a chemical, not an EHS, but one of their other chemicals. Then we have ConAgra. So let's see, some contact changes, removal of some chemicals, and then they did also update some of their PPE information and some of their emergency monitoring equipment. Nothing earth-shattering there, but again, we appreciate the thoroughness. So Air Products. Air Products has submitted their final transmittal. So what that means is they no longer have any EHS within the building. And from my understanding, Air Products will be closing. The company will be closing. Effective right now, they are still open. The EHS is completely gone, but they do still have chemicals on site. So they do qualify as a tier 2 reporter. So they will be doing a tier 2 still this year. But yeah, so in regards to that, again, they are still open, but sort of our business with them is complete unless something were to change. So we are down one offsite. All right, and then Tractor Central, no changes. And Quality Liquid Feeds, no changes at all. So next we have on the list is Fleet Farm. So Fleet Farm was actually due to be updated kind of with our last batch, our spring batch of offsites. And I contacted them and was not getting anything back in regards to their updating their offsite plan. I had sent emails. I had also called there, and they said that they had sent information. I don't know how to say it. It was just awkward. Something just wasn't going right. I continued to send them emails and to request information. That did not work. So what I did end up doing is we spoke with our regional manager to get some sort of guidance on how to proceed. And so we sent them a certified letter requesting this information, stating that, yes, we need this information. You're required to provide this information. That also went unheeded. So then our next step was we contacted Melissa Johnson, who is with the state, and her title is EPCRA Compliance Specialist, I think. So then she had contacted somebody within the company, more at like the regional level. They did respond. They did send some emails. They sent some questions. However, to date, as of this morning, I still do not actually have an updated plan. I did send another email this morning just asking them how things were going. I do believe that I will receive something soon. And just so we're clear, Fleet Farm has batteries. They don't have anything else. And they also will be converted to a battery plan. So their plan is now a page long. Again, I'm just not sure what the hesitancy is with this, but it is now, again, we have contacted the state. Steve was a part of this as well when we did send the letter. Steve was required to sign it. So Steve is aware. And just sort of, if we don't hear something again next week, I will contact Melissa Johnson again to maybe have them pursue more enforcement in regards to this. Does anybody have any questions about any of the offsites that are reported on, or about the process itself with this non-compliant facility?
Questions or comments? Yeah, it is a mystery with Fleet Farm. We will get solved in terms of getting their compliance from however we need to do it. It's a real question mark why they have hesitated to comply and respond. So thank you, Kristen, for all your hard work on that.
And then did everybody receive, so the LEPC members did receive, or should have received, a copy of all of the updated offsites. Does anybody have any questions about those? Any comments? Anything?
Will there be a final one for Air Products, being that they have EHS still on site?
According to them, they do not have EHS on site.
Oh.
Is that, so they still have chemicals?
They still have ammonia on site, I believe.
No.
No? Okay.
According to the report and what they reported out, everything anhydrous ammonia related has been removed from the facility.
Okay.
Is that?
I haven't been over to the building, but
Okay.
I mean, I hadn't seen an ammonia truck come and take their ammonia out, but I'll go with what you say. I was just curious if if there was any updated plan, being that there still is chemicals. If not, then I'm not going to worry about having one on site for them with just what's in the building.
Yep. So, and that's a really good question. And again, because they're still open, the building is still there. They are still, I think, operating in some capacity.
Nothing out of this one, but yeah.
Yeah, they still have chemicals on site, but none of them are EHS.
Okay.
So if you were to look up their facility in Whoppers, you can still see everything that they have on site.
Okay.
They still report out all of their chemicals. And when I was speaking with them, they're like, we still have trucks in the parking lot, and we still have this and we still have that, but there is no EHS.
Okay.
So in regards to that, again, they are still reporting to the state through the Whopper system, and they will still fill out a tier 2 report, but there's no EHS. Again, EHS is the extremely hazardous substances. So that is, again, that's what prompted the final transmittal. And for those of you who don't know, when a facility eliminates their any EHS within the building, the process is that they have to go into Whoppers and update that information there. Because sort of for peace of mind for me, I want Whoppers to say, no, we don't have any EHS at this facility. So that, and it's documented sort of the date as to when the EHS left the facility. And then they do submit just a final transmittal.
Okay.
Yeah. Any questions about that process or the facility itself?
Thank you for all your hard work, Kristen.
Mhm.
If there are no questions or comments, if we could have a motion to accept the plans with an asterisk for Fleet Farm at the moment, but if we could have, which will transfer over to the spring, if we could have a motion and then a second, that would be appreciated.
I will make a motion
Okay, thank you.
to approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second 3M
Oh,
through
okay.
quality.
Thank you very much. All those in favor, please indicate so or raise an emoji or hand.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. So next order of business, if everyone is okay, we will go ahead and leave the hazmat presentation to the end. Does that work okay? Great, thank you. We'll go on to any new business, anything, any issues anyone would like to raise in terms of with the committee or what you heard reported today. Any items for discussion? Quiet group
Would
there,
like to bring up something if that's okay with everybody.
please.
So recently I received a newsletter from the IAEM, and in regards to LEPC committees like around the state, not just us. And actually this is maybe around the United States. And it's just a 2-page thing, and I was reading through it, and it just sort of talks about the roles of LEPC committees and what they mean to the community and what that means to emergency management. And I guess I would like to put the question forward. Is there anybody who would be interested in maybe taking some of our LEPC duties maybe to the next level, or maybe just to another level? I did highlight some of the things on here. And it just says, like, you know, the LEPC does have, you know, information and maybe the education and the experience to help keep our communities safer, not just through this meeting and not just collecting information about our offsites, but maybe contributing in other ways. And there's a quote on here that says, LEPCs must embrace a broader sense of community responsibility for accident prevention and preparedness. It is not appropriate to be a passive collector of information. And then it talks about like the golden rules of LEPCs. And then I was also inspired a little bit too, for those of you who went to the Cardinal Glass tour a 1.5 years ago. And if you notice, they had like a campsite set up in their on their production floor. And I believe Matt had said, you know, well, we maybe on a monthly basis or something, they just talk about like safety, not just within the building, but maybe health and safety of their employees outside of work as well. So I'm wondering if anybody would like to, I don't know, form a subcommittee or do some work in a different capacity, as far as, you know, I guess I'm not really sure if I have a true direction, but maybe working with businesses within Dunn County who maybe are not offsites, but just businesses who would be interested in health and safety within their facilities or for their employees, or, you know, educating, offering educational opportunities for other businesses. Anyone? Or what are your thoughts?
Kristen, I know
Jenny?
Matt, as our community risk reduction officer, done a ton of work with the local schools, local businesses on the Stop the Bleed program for possible active shooter stuff. So I don't know if I don't want to throw Matt's name in the hat for anything, but I'm not sure if that's something that would fall underneath that. As I mean, he is literally once a week going out places to do this stuff. So
Is he? Okay. No, that's great. And yes, I understand that you can't speak for Matt, but well, maybe you can sometimes, but yeah, if there's things like that, and that's great if Matt would be interested, because I'm sure he doesn't have enough on his plate right now.
right.
But
Yeah.
but even just other things, if and maybe they don't have to be quite so technical. And again, Denny, I think that those are great, and that would be, even for our knowledge of what does Matt do, and what kind of outreach do we have in Dunn County. But yeah, and I can certainly, email him. Anybody else? Is there anything, would anybody be interested in, again, as far as what this committee would look like, or I don't know, which I realize isn't super helpful, but, or even expanding within our EHSs, is there, because our current committee does have quite a few people that are on, that do represent offsite facilities. I know that Jenny is on, who's with the American Red Cross. I'm not trying to throw you under the bus, Jenny, but is there something that we could do, just to reach out to within the community? Would anybody be interested in talking about that maybe at a different meeting? Yeah.
Great ideas, Kristen, and there's a wealth of opportunity. We have expanded the committee. For example, during the early phases of the pandemic, we went and looked at more of the health aspect of it compared to chemical. We've looked at, like you mentioned, potential workplace violence or community violence issues. So I'd be willing to take a more active role personally on that. And I think you're looking at what you're saying is awareness, outreach, communication. It's all good. It gets people informed, gets them aware of not only what resources we have in the county, but also beyond that. And we live in a global community, so how we can expand that grasp of knowledge so that people have the tools, they have the information they may need.
Kristen, if you just kind of referencing to more of like that general personal and household kind of type of preparedness, it kind of sounds like we definitely have preparedness information readily available for anyone in the community. So if we can help with that personal preparedness planning, those are all something that we can provide as far as what kind of information to give to individuals. So those are pretty easy to do.
Okay, great. Thanks, Jenny.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Jenny. And I know through the county, for example, Kristen and Jason, we have severe weather booklets and information, correct? And we have household chemical booklets. So there's a variety of information that we can share with people. That's great. It's terrific. So thank you for doing that. We could even look at kind of what Jenny was referring to, expanding out to the community, either through the subcommittee or through forums or perhaps meetings, just to bring people in. And there's a variety of ways we can do that, because knowledge is great. Anytime one person gain information, whether it's through the Red Cross or whether it's through another agency, that helps them have a point of reference and helps them become better prepared and be able to respond in a more effective manner.
Right.
Good stuff.
So,
Anybody else have any questions or comments?
I was just going to say maybe you kind of planted the seed here, I guess, with your idea. But is that document, Kristen, something that you can send out to the members so they can kind of mull it over what was in that, or would that be helpful? Then
I could
maybe take it up.
just, yep, I could just send this out. And yeah, I'll do that. I'll start with
Yeah,
that.
I briefly peeked at that when it came through, and I know you mentioned something about it at one time, but maybe just sending that out to the membership so they can, take a look at it and see if this is a direction we want to go, and we can, you like I said, you planted the seed. We can pick up on it the next meeting and see where it goes.
That'd be great. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Kristen. And perhaps I could work with you, Kristen, if you want, after that document goes out on a survey. Say, are you interested and in what areas and how would you like to be available and would you be
Sure.
available? That kind of thing. To see if we have, whether it's a subcommittee itself or a team, whatever you want to call it, that can be able to go out to schools or centers or however we want to do that to provide information.
Sure.
I'm all
Okay,
in.
great.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. Any other new business that anyone would like to bring up? Okay, seeing none. The next meeting, if I have this right, would be the second Tuesday in June, which would be the 12th. So exactly 6 months. And if you put that on the calendar, is that correct? 12th of June?
Is it Tuesday or Thursday?
It would be a Thursday. Thursday, June 12th.
Thursday, June 12th. Okay.
And if there's anyone that's interested, and we can also send this out, in hosting the meeting, that'd be terrific. It just helps a lot. We can get out and about, and people like on the committee like to see other facilities. It's interesting. We learn quite a bit. And if that's something that anyone would be interested in sponsoring or hosting, or we can go somewhere else. We go to UW Stout. So we can go a number of places. We just would want to request a sponsor that would be able to host the meeting. So kind of think about that. And then if you are interested, get a hold of Kristen or Jason, and then we can set something up. Sound good? Any other questions or comments? All right, we'll have the presentation here at the end. And I'd like to wish everyone who may need to leave happy holidays and have a safe and healthy new year and moving forward into 2025. If not, if there's a motion to adjourn and a second, then we can close the meeting and then I'll get my presentation going. A motion to adjourn.
Make a
Motion
motion.
to adjourn.
Okay, thank you, Greg. And Denny, you will second or first or second, something like that. All right, all those in favor, one more time with the symbol or acknowledgement. Thank you.
All right.
All those, I wish somebody would oppose, give me a poop emoji or something. All right. And motion carries. Please have a healthy holiday. Meeting is closed. And now I'll turn it over to me and present